pleasure that I get to introduce our guest speaker. Our guest speaker is Jen Beatson King, and it is your first time serving here at the Healing Spirit. So welcome. It's a pleasure having new people come in and change things up a bit for us. Jen has always felt the force of spirit around her, but while growing up, this force terrified her. She was also involved in a serious car accident, and it was her spirit guide who walked her through the recovery. Her spirit guide was Timothy, her cousin, and what she experienced changed and enlightened her forever. Since the transformation, she has come to embrace her gift, connecting with spirits around us and seeking to help others embrace their connection with their friends and family in spirit. And it is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce you, Jen, to have your moment in the light.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you.
That's amazing. That's a very nice introduction. Okay, so I'm Jen Beatson King, and I'm very happy and honored to be here. So thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you for attending this wonderful service. So most of my lectures are about personal things that have happened to me and events with spirit. So this one's a bit of a different one. It's called Varied Types of Dreams with Spirit Interaction. So that's varied types of dreams with spirit interaction. So I have 4 personal examples to speak about. Okay, we all dream whether we remember it or not. Spirit connects us through dreams. When a person dies, they often come back in our dreams. So how many have experienced that here, where you've had a dream and a spirit person has come back through your dreams? Okay, yeah, quite a few of us. Yeah, that's great. So spirit will often come back looking the same as they were in the prime of their life. And they like people to remember them that way as well. So the first example is, my estranged uncle came back to visit me in a vivid dream. He appeared to be about 55 years old. That was also around the age that I saw him the last time, that is, I saw him alive. He looked very healthy and just as I'd seen him in person. I couldn't believe it. He came across as being very content, happy, and relaxed in the spirit world. I was never close to him and only had contact with him and my auntie when I visited them in London, only one time. I was about 19 years old, very naive, and stayed with him for 2 weeks at their invitation. My uncle came to me in the dream when I was about 35 years old, so between 19 and 35, that's how long it took. I never knew that he had passed, but the dream was evidence that he had. Okay, when I stayed with him, they charged me rent at the end of the 2 weeks for staying with him. I paid due to the shock, feeling somewhat taken aback and just embarrassed at their audacity for charging me. I couldn't believe it. Own relatives charging you. Okay, but anyway, couldn't do anything about it. So, I paid them just and left. On top of that, I even bought my own food for those 2 weeks. Anyway, so he was not a generous or giving man when on this plane, and he was very tight and stingy. Oh, and he was a newspaper editor, so definitely not void of any funds. He was essentially asking for forgiveness when he came back for his behavior, with our interaction that we had, because he had treated me poorly. I was certainly surprised with his appearance, but I guess it was something that he needed to do from the spirit world. And I actually embraced it when he did. So a second encounter happened to me with my maternal grandmother, except this time she woke me up from the dream that I had, that I was having with her. She woke me up to tell me that she had moved to a place filled with love and peace. It's a little bit strange, but she said her passing was easy and that she was physically gone and would return when the time was right. She said that she was never far away. I was very, very close to my grandmother. She is now, at this time, one of my primary guides. So the full circle, and she came back around. I had a newborn baby at that time. She went to the bassinet at the end of the bed and watched over the baby. My baby is now 30 years old, so that shows you how old I am. She acknowledged my baby and said that all was well, and then she faded away. My mother called the next morning to say that Nana had passed away. I said that I already knew, and my mother stated she wasn't surprised. We are a long line of mediums in our family. Okay, so Nana had visited her and my sister that previous evening as well. We were all living in Canada, but my Nana was in New Zealand. Even distance doesn't stop spirit from communicating in dreams or communicating through dreams to wake us up for further communication. If they really want you, they really want you. So my third example is dreams and past life regression. If this hadn't have happened to me, I would have not believed it. And I couldn't have made this up. All right, so I was delving into past life regression over a 3-week period about 5 years ago. I would sit in the power in a guided regressive meditation. Awakening and coming out of the meditation gave me no real concrete information, no evidence of past regression, except that I had a feeling of personal power, like a warrior, feeling capable of dealing with any untoward circumstances. The feeling was quite powerful, but quite strange. Okay, days after the meditation, something happened which I was completely unaware of. Like, it's just, whoa. All right, I'll give you a bit of background, which links into this story. Around the same time, I had an accident with my horse. My horse kicked me in the pelvis by kicking out sideways with a hoof. She wanted grain that was for her baby foal, and she didn't want to wait for her grain. She was mad with me. Anyway, I ended up throwing the bucket at her grain at her, and I was on the ground, and I ended up in the emergency with a fractured pelvis, and I could hardly walk. All right, now we're going to fast forward to 4 days after the meditation, the past regression meditation. I could hardly move due to the horse injury and had to take time off work and roll on and off the bed in pain when going to bed and in the morning when getting up, getting help. I could not sit up in bed or bend over or bend sideways. The pain was excruciating. So this is setting the scene, okay? My husband asked me in the morning how I slept. I thought that he was talking about the pain. I said, okay, as I didn't wake up during the night, so I guess I slept okay. I was asleep. He asked me again how I slept. He asked if I truly felt okay. Oh, now I was getting a little bit annoyed. Like, stop repeating yourself. He then said, don't you remember what happened last night when you were sleeping? I said, I had a good sleep, a blink sleep. Just falling asleep and waking up is a blink sleep. I was asleep. I felt fine in the morning, even with the pain, but still refreshed. He said, about 2 a.m., you bolted straight up in bed, sitting with your back straight, with your eyes wide open, as though you were in a trance. You were clearly looking at something or talking to a group of people. You were speaking in a language unknown to me, was unknown to him. He said that it definitely was a language that you were speaking fluently. You were angry and loud with your words, very loud. He said it lasted for quite a few minutes, then you flopped back down backwards onto the pillow and didn't move for the rest of the night. He then said he couldn't sleep after that as the incident spooked him somewhat. Yeah, because quite funny. He's quite, he gets spooked quite a lot, but I don't know why, because, you know, I live with this guy and he should be okay with spirit coming in or dead people coming in, but no, he was quite spooked. Okay. So I had no idea that I'd done that, flopped back and I sat up, but I still had the feeling of a warrior power, which was indeed strange. I woke up in pain in the morning, overall body pain again, and had to get help rolling off the bed. The same thing happened about 5 nights later, again around 2 a.m. while I was sleeping. He repeatedly asked me how I was feeling in the morning. He said that the second time was only about a minute long, not so forceful in my language or voice. Then I knew it happened again, but only from him telling me. I felt fine, except for the pelvis pains and still having to roll off and on the bed. I couldn't believe that I sat up in the middle of the night when I couldn't even roll off the bed. You know, I couldn't roll off the bed without experiencing the pain. So how could I possibly sit up? He had no idea of the language and couldn't even guess what it might be. About 3 weeks later, we were watching a show about New Zealand, where I come from. There was a demonstration of the Maori language and the haka, the traditional dance. He turned the TV up, pointed to it, and said, "I can't believe it. That's the language you were speaking. I can't believe it." I could speak Maori only at a very elementary level and not fluently. Needless to say, I never did the past life regression by myself again, and I put the guided meditation disc away. At that time I had a disc. All right, but thinking about it, and after I wrote this, I thought, well, I'm once again keen to try it. But this time I will get my team of guides to guide me through it with the intention of blocking any pathway or entry to myself during the night. That's the key, the intention, okay, that you set. So I don't want to freak him out again. Right. The fourth and last example of spirit intervention while I was sleeping happened about 10 years ago. I was having lunch with a group of co-workers, and one of them said that she thought there was a negative energy watching her. It's like, ooh. Okay. She started to speak about negative energies. At that point, I walked out of the room because I did not want to engage in that type of conversation. I don't engage in negative conversations. That night I went to bed, apparently sleeping on my back. Well, I usually sleep on my side. Then I felt pressure on my chest and my stomach and my abdomen. I couldn't breathe. It was just like horrific. It was horrible. And I woke up with a bit of a shock and was momentarily unsettled because I was having problems trying to breathe. The pressure was increasing. And, you know, it's like when a snake coils over you, and every time you breathe out, you breathe in, it's a little bit less. That was the kind of feeling that I had. Okay, definitely couldn't move. I thought to myself, fear is power. And I'm not going to give any fear away. So I'm not going to give that entity or whatever it was power. I said, whoever you are, you do not scare me. And I don't care if you want to stay or leave, but I'm going back to sleep. And I went back to sleep. Poof, the energy was gone because the energy had no hold over me. My language was it was quite a bit stronger and colorful than what I'm telling you. I did go back to sleep. I had a good sleep and remembered everything the next morning. My guides did come to my rescue, and that has never, ever happened to me again. So don't engage in negative energy conversations unless you get protection from your guides, but try not to engage in it at all, as it can bring forth unexpected results. Some dreams repeat themselves and become unsettled. Some become nightmares. You might get night tremors. Our spirit guides are there to protect us. If you continue to have unsettled dreams, you will need to put an intention out there, something like this mantra. You can make up your own. They're so easy to make up. So this is the one that I'm just giving you as an example. I will have a settled and uninterrupted sleep tonight. The dream will not progress or repeat itself. The dream will dissipate before it reaches me. My guides will no longer let it in. Bless all who protect me in spirit's love and light. So that's a simple mantra that anybody can use. They can make up their own as long as they have that intention and say it before they go to bed. So as you see, these examples are only a few of the varied types of dreams with spirit interaction. There are many resources to refer to related to the dreams. Experiencing dreams can be wonderful or frightening. Dreams give messages, confirmation of life after death, give spirit a platform to communicate, can be uplifting, terrifying, funny, or serious. I have had dreams that I remember and hear myself clearly stating in the dream, oh, this better not be a dream. Like this better not be real. Sorry, this better be a dream or I'm in trouble. I don't like those dreams. Okay, has anybody had a dream like that where they think, yeah, this is not real or this shouldn't be real? Okay. My final words as a takeaway are that you have the power. You have the ultimate power. You can stop or change the dream with putting the intention out there. You have to believe in yourself, truly believe in yourself, and truly believe in spirit. Thank you for listening to this lecture on varied types of dreams with spirit interaction, and bless you all in spirit's love and light. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Jen. That was beautiful. And you know something, there's a saying that I have learned and my husband has learned, and that's just welcome to living with a medium.
Yeah, I know.
There's been so many times where, I mean, I haven't spoken in other languages, but I mean, my husband's had to peel himself off the ceiling because I've done the bolt up and the yelling at somebody like I'm having a total conversation that's so powerful. And he'll sit there and watch me, and then all of a sudden, boom, back to sleep. And he's like, what? And he'll say to me, so how did you sleep last night? I get it happens a lot. Now he just puts earplugs in, eye mask on, so he doesn't hear, see, innocent.
No, my husband wanted to watch a movie one night, and I said, I won't watch vampires or horror movies. And he goes, oh, for goodness sakes, you talk to the dead. That's different, totally different.
Well, you know what? Your address was very affirming for those who are mediums, active mediums, and those who may be still in the little bit of a cobweb closet, not ready to come out as a medium yet, but now know why they are experiencing what they are.
Yeah.
Now, just to let everybody know, if you'd like more information about Jen or to contact her, she has a website called the Quickie Connection. I love that.
Kiwi Connection.
Oh, Kiwi. I'm saying
K-I-W-I.
the Quickie, right? The Quickie Connection. It's the Kiwi Connection, and it's .net.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. We are going to ask Bill, Mr. Maestro, to play the second song and announcements, and then we are in for mediumship.
God's love is deep within me, ever satisfying my soul. God's love is deep within me, ever satisfying my soul. God's life is deep within me, ever satisfying my soul. God's life is deep within me, ever satisfying my soul. God's light is deep within me, ever satisfying my soul. God's light is deep within me, ever satisfying my soul, ever satisfying my soul, ever satisfying my soul.
Turn your video on, your sound on.
Sorry, my screen went wonky and I was trying to find my way back to unmute. And I have Randy yelling at me, I'm muted, unmute, but I couldn't find the button. It disappeared. Okay,